The film I decided to talk about was The Proposal, which stars Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds as the two main characters. Bullock plays Margaret Tate, who is an executive at a book publishing company that everyone views as controlling and kind of mean. While Andrew, who's played by Reynolds, Andrew Paxton, her assistant, wants to get this book published, but Tate won't let him. Tate is going to be deported, she finds out, but she can stay if she gets married. So she decides she's going to marry her assistant, which Paxton only agrees to if he will get his book published and become editor. They visit Paxton's family in Alaska, where they slowly start to fall in love, but at the wedding, she feels guilty for believing that the marriage is a sham, so she leaves to be deported, and then Andrew goes after her, they chase after her, they meet at the work, they kiss, and they get together. The main relationship issues between the two title characters, Andrew and Margaret, are kind of the power struggle between both of them. And there's a lot of stress going on in their relationship, knowing that they have to not only keep it a secret that it's a sham from Andrew's parents and everyone in Alaska, but also from the government itself. And at the beginning of the film, she's always seen as like really controlling and almost like a very evil person. And Andrew has told his family repeatedly that he does not like her and that she does not want him, or he doesn't want her as a boss. Communication is impacted by this relationship because they never shared feelings and aspirations on an emotional level when working together. They slowly kind of start to fall in love as the film goes on, as they learn more about each other, but they're obviously afraid to act on those feelings because they never communicate with each other how they're feeling. Margaret ends up leaving Alaska because she doesn't want to hurt his feelings and the family's feelings, because she knows that, or she believes that he's only marrying her because she's going to be deported to Canada. So they never communicate on these feelings with each other, which ends up making her leave because the government tells her she has to. If they were able to, come together and get over the fact that they, even though they work together, they can still have these feelings for each other, it would have been a lot easier for them to get married right then and there instead of having to chase after her in New York. One communication theory that is shown in the film and with the relationship of Margaret and Andrew was the social penetration theory. In the beginning of the film, Margaret couldn't open up to any of her employees because she was really closed off and wanted to just fill that kind of boss role. And a lot of her coworkers didn't really like her, and they were afraid to even go near her at times because they didn't know what she was going to do. And, that created a reputation that she was kind of, a bad person. But once she started to hang out with Andrew's family in Alaska, she kind of realized, and she says in the film, that she realized what it was like to have a family, which is why she was really scared at the end to, get married, because she knew that she was letting down his mother and his grandmother, who was 90 years old, played by Betty White too. It's crazy how she's still, almost turning 100. It's crazy. But the whole social penetration theory shows that when we kind of start relationships, we start by sharing non-intimate levels of this, or layers of our personality, and as we continue to communicate with others, we start peeling off layers one by one and start talking about more intimate things, which is obviously shown in the film before these two characters never talked to each other really about anything, but then they started to really become close. Another concept presented in the film was coercive power, the ability to punish someone who doesn't comply with someone else's influences. Margaret has created a work environment that has her employees really scared and afraid to even talk to her at times, let alone confront her about anything. She doesn't make herself approachable, which it really doesn't allow anyone at her work to openly communicate when she's around. So she's used her power as boss to be, a coercive boss, because she can punish anyone who, doesn't think like her, doesn't do anything she says. One solution that could apply to Margaret's situation in the beginning of the film with her work would be just to respect others. If she would have treated her employees with respect, then most of her employees wouldn't resent her, and it would have been a better work experience for all of them. And she might have also had a good time at work. Another solution to better the relationship of Andrew and Margaret would be to address their conflicts in the relationship before the wedding day, obviously. It was clear that they both had feelings for each other. Margaret left during the wedding because she felt like the marriage wasn't true and she thought that she was letting down Andrew's family. And even though she clearly had feelings for him, that's why she left. If they were able to kind of address this conflict and talk more during the film instead of just saying, oh, we're only getting married for the green card, it would have made it a lot easier to get married, and they would have actually found out that they loved each other a lot sooner. One final solution to the relationship problems in this film would be the ability to self-disclose with each other. Just with anyone, whether it be her employees, with the other family members of the Paxton family, even like her coworkers. If she was able to, open up and, talk with more people, she would have been able to build stronger bonds. I'm talking about Margaret, with the people she works with. So whether it be, obviously Andrew, she would say more things about her and how she was feeling, they could talk and they could work out this whole deportation thing instead of both of Andrew and Margaret trying to blackmail each other. I think these ideas that I've presented would be really effective in the real world because people obviously complain about their bosses all the time, but the more connections we have with people on a deeper level, the more it allows us to kind of work those issues and problems out. If we kind of view our bosses, and even as bosses view our subordinates as like a different level, a different playing field, there's no way we can come together and effectively communicate in the workplace. And I thought the movie did a good job of like showing the divide and then showing slowly how they both can come together in sort of a middle ground and have an actual like romantic relationship. I think the social penetration theory applies more to my interpersonal interactions because I don't open up with people that often, and I think it really takes me time to actually like you get to the more intimate layers of my personality. And I think that my great friends, they know a lot about my personality, and there's not much for me to quote unquote hide. But people I first meet or people that I don't really feel that close to, there's definitely some layers that they don't know about me because I haven't hung out with them that much. So I think the more times that I speak with them, the more of a chance it gives for me to open up and talk more about my personality. All right, that was my film analysis on The Proposal. Thank you for watching.